Greetings, fellow Portal Masters. Greetings, fellow Portal Masters. I'm Crash Rowsell, and it's once again time to Crash Scouts with this, let's say, top 5 video. In only a few days, this Tuesday is my channel's 7th year anniversary. It's insane that over the last 7 years I've been able to entertain you guys as Crash the Skylands and finally find my footing on YouTube literally all this time. If you watched my video this time last year I uploaded, I talked about the 6 fun facts you didn't know about CTS, and this is probably my last channel. I don't feel like I'm going to be branching out of Crash the Skylands anytime soon or starting anything else. I may not, I don't know yet, but I gotta say, thank you so much for letting me do Crash the Skylands for the last 7 years. And it's honestly because of you guys I keep going. There's many days I wake up and I don't want to do it anymore. But there's also one little thing I gotta thank too. It's Skylanders. These little plastic figures in the game that I'm talking about today is literally the reason I'm standing here talking to this camera and then talking to future you in the future. Creepy. Regardless, it's amazing that you guys have given me the opportunity and the chance to be able to talk about this series. And one thing about this series is there's always something great about every one you've played. Skylanders has 6 games. 6 of them always have something great about them. Something that I enjoy the most. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. So here is the best thing in every Skylanders game. Yeah, I'm going above this time, switch it up. So before I continue, yes, my friend Skylar Gamer TV did do a video on this, so check him out. If I remember, it's going to be in the description. Of course, Skylar Gamer TV is another awesome SkyTuber like myself, and did I just call myself awesome? Humble. I'm humble too. But yeah, he did a video like this before, so definitely give him a shout out. I do want to give a shout out to Fantastic Flynn on Twitter for giving me this idea. I actually didn't realize Skylar Gamer TV did a video on this until I was researching this a little bit. So shout out to Fantastic Flynn on Twitter and Skylar Gamer TV for this video. Let's hop right into it. Let's see what are the best thing in every Skylander game. There is no way you can start off a list like this without discussing the reason we even have this list in the first place. The characters that made us fall in love with the franchise to begin with, and finding out which characters worked for us and which we couldn't stand, is something that is always magical that we got to do in every single game afterwards. This game introduced me to my all-time favorite Skylander with Bash, and gave me other favorites like Trigger Happy, Gil Grunt, Flame Slinger, and more, and showed me that not all of them can be perfect, like Prism Break or Boomer. From this game on, I was excited to see what new Skylanders were coming to the game, and who I can avoid afterwards. Playing through Spyro's adventure for the first time made me realize how cool the levels can be, although they did get repetitive. With Giants, it gave us more to love about this franchise, but little did we know, a certain level would make us appreciate the game even more. The Oracle gave us the power of choice, making us decide on our first playthrough what morale choices we will make that can hinder or help our playthrough. Numerous times I played this level and always made the drastic mistake of picking something wrong that sounded right. However, this isn't the reason the Oracle is remembered. The fact that whatever Skylar you're playing as, the Oracle recognizes what Skylar you have and greets them. To this day, I've been amazed that the game knew what Skylar I was playing as, and the only thing that got me as much joy is in the Gadfly Glades in Superchargers, where your Skylar stands behind Flynn and Tessa. It's a joy we can all agree is the best. Throughout Skylanders' history, we have met so many unique characters. A ton of them stood out above the rest, and a few of them became personal favorites. However, the NPCs introduced in Swap Force stood above the rest. Not only did 2 huge fan favorites come into play with Tessa and Sharpfin, numerous characters like Gurglefin, Avril, Tuck and Grom, and the Chiefess are introduced here. However, it isn't just the good guys who made an impression. Enemies like Mesmeralda, Baron von Shellshock, and the Fire Viper, who has no friends, gave us memorable boss fights, and Cass's mom entering the picture is unforgettable at best. Swap Force is where Skylanders came to shine, with people wanting to play every level and meet every character, as it fleshed out the overall cast of the game, and has quite possibly the best NPC cast in all of the franchise. And before anyone mentions Rufus, he's trying his best. Be nice. It would be easy for me to sit here and discuss how great all the new Trap Masters were in Trap Team, but that's simple. You need them to complete the game. However, there's another set of Skylanders released that need all the love as they are all borderline perfect. The cores of Trap Team. Some of these Skylanders are better than their Trapmaster counterparts, and I felt so bad that I legit had to stop using them at some points in the game to 100% the game. The Skylanders team dropped the ball when it came to the cores in this game, as it took them 4 games to get the perfect crew just to make them almost useless throughout, but I know their true worth. Skylanders like Echo, High Five, Flipwreck, Fist Bump, and Chopper became so many people's favorites within the first playthrough and made me want to try all the other cores. Some of them need a little bit of work, but even then, they're great for anyone. I may knock Batspin a ton, but I still loved playing as her for the first time, even though I'd choose other Skylanders over her. For a final goodbye to cores that we didn't know about, this was a great way to go out. Throughout Skylanders, we got very basic stories about how we have to stop chaos and save Skylands. And that was it, nothing crazy or heartfelt, just get from point A to point B. Superchargers changed that completely, giving us one of the best stories in any game, not just Skylanders, showing us how relationships from past and present can be built stronger, or how we can gain trust with new friendships, the meaningful character arcs we got from characters like Glumshanks and Chaos, who we've always known to be evil, showing us that there is good in the darkness. Watching Glumshanks sacrifice himself for your crew just because you gave him a chance after Chaos fired him is one of the most shocking moments in Skylanders. I can say I was very surprised and shocked when this happened. I was still on edge after Glumshanks got fired, and then to have him basically killed off without us knowing what happened to him and just having to continue on is brutal. Plus, the twist ending, where we thought we stopped the darkness and ended up with another chapter and a final battle, is something I will never forget. This is one game that I will always go back to relive the story any day of the week. For the entirety of the Skylanders franchise, everyone had their own ideas for what Skylander they would like to add to the game. When Imaginators was announced with the ability to create your own Skylander, it was insane news for the fans, as we finally got what we always wanted. Although the choices were limited at first and not the exact thing we wanted, it was a way to let our creativity flow and make so many cool and creative Skylanders. Either being real public figures or cartoon characters, to making ourselves in the game like yours truly did, this gave us a whole new love for a game, as we can make whatever we wanted and then beat Chaos as that. Plus, with the 10 different battle classes, it gave us ample opportunity to try every class and see what our favorites were. Mine is Brawler, if you were wondering. Collecting all the parts and all the characters was fun too, as you get to physically see your ideas come into play and wonder what that head would look like with those legs. While the game itself wasn't the greatest thing in the franchise, it was without a doubt the coolest idea to let us make our own fun. Thank you again, ladies and gentlemen, for giving me the opportunity to stand here and talk to you guys about Skylanders. It's crazy that after all this time, we're able to talk about this game that hasn't had something new in like 6 years. But for the past 7 years, I've been able to entertain you guys every single day, almost, with a video. And if you don't go every day, just go back and watch an older one. There's like 130 episodes of Honestly Half Hour by this time it comes out. So, regardless, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for the last 7 years. Crash to Skylanders is not stopping anytime soon. Just because Skylanders doesn't have anything new doesn't mean I'm stopping. I'm like the oldest SkyTuber now. I gotta keep going for some reason. Thank you all so much for supporting this channel. I will see you all next week for another awesome video. I don't know if it'll be next week or the week after. We're gonna do something different related to this one. We're gonna go negative. But for now, let's keep the positives in mind. And remember that Skylands will never die until we say it's dead. And we'll never say it's dead. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next week for another awesome episode of anything on this channel. But as always, I bid you farewell and thank you.